everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Sharon and this is a channel that is dedicated to all things related to narcissism. I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on all types of topics related to narcissism. So if you haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. I would really appreciate it if you gave the video a thumbs up. It's a free way you can help me out. And definitely don't forget to leave a comment because I like to read what you have to say. Almost exactly 2 months ago today, I ran for my life. I took my kids, my pets, and as many belongings as possible. I literally abandoned my dream home and took off in the middle of the night to escape my ex. My kids couldn't say goodbye to their friends. We skipped Christmas. Fear was our constant companion. In my worst nightmare, I couldn't imagine something like this happening to me. When I was pregnant with both of my children and I was dreaming about the life that they would have, something like this was unimaginable. Oh my God. But here we are. I married a covert narcissist, and like anybody else in that situation, my consequence was living in hell. And like anybody else, I began to feel those flames, and so did my kids. I recently read a great description of what it's like to be in a relationship with a covert narcissist. It's like being sucker punched, then looking around for the one you love to help you up and discovering that was the one who made you hit the ground in the first place. In today's video, I'm going to fill you in on what a covert narcissist doesn't want you to know. They're complete frauds, all of them, bold-faced liars, and nothing but PTSD for you and your family. You will exist in the relationship. I can't say live because you don't live when you're with a narcissist. You exist. Technically, you're alive. You're fully conscious to endure intense and constant feelings of fear, shock, and disgust. Life is unfathomably horrific when you get involved with a covert narcissist. Of course, part of the horror is that you have no idea what you're dealing with until you're up to your neck in their manipulations, passive-aggressive behavior, and downright abuse. You live in hell, and sooner or later, you will feel those flames, and so will your children. In today's video, I'm going to tell you what is really going on with the narcissist in your life and what that means for you and for your kids if you have them, so you can make the wisest possible decisions as soon as possible. I'm going to say this up front, and I'm telling you this because I lived it. I know this. You cannot wish abuse away. You can't bury your head in the sand. You must take action. Your life is in a state of emergency, an emergency. You must get out. I'm so sorry, I really am, but me feeling bad for my situation or your situation or anyone's situation won't change a thing. We got involved with some evil, vile people, and holding on, hoping for a miracle is not the answer. Telling yourself you can't do it is not the answer. Accepting fate is not the answer. Hoping that this person will change is not the answer. Pretending it isn't that bad is not the answer. Unfortunately, there is an answer, and this answer is leaving, doing the hardest thing. Today's video, I'm going to talk about that. But first, let's begin with what is a narcissist? Who is a narcissist? There are two main types of narcissists. There's covert and overt. Both have similar views and feelings. To the narcissist, they're better, stronger, smarter than you, than me, than anybody. Both are completely lacking empathy. So think about that. They literally don't care about how anybody else feels about anything ever. They're cold, unfeeling, manipulative, and cruel. They express their abuse very differently, though. Overt narcissists are who you think of when you hear the word narcissist. Obnoxious, in your face, greedy, self-centered. They aren't afraid to let you know that they're better than you and you should believe that. Everybody should believe it. What about a covert narcissist? What's the difference between a covert and an overt? It's the way they present themselves to others, how they act, and it is definitely all an act. A covert narcissist is acting all the time, and they've been doing this for their entire life. You are up against a master manipulator. I mean, think about how good you could be at something if you practiced it all the time. A friend of mine taught me or tried to teach me how to knit. So many times I saw her knitting and she was talking and knitting, watching her kids and knitting, She didn't even look like she was counting the rows or doing anything other than something else. But she would make socks, and she would make blankets and sweaters, all these great things, and it looked like she wasn't even paying attention to what she was doing. It looked easy and second nature. And it was like that because she had done it for so long. On the other hand, when I tried, I was slow and clumsy. I kept dropping stitches. I couldn't take my eyes off it at all, and it was a complete disaster. A narcissist can lie and pretend as easily as you and I can breathe. It's second nature to them. Now, a covert narcissist is a particularly vile creature. They pretend that they're generous, kind, loving, almost shy. All they want to do is help other people. They might raise money for charity, attend church weekly, and volunteer at soup kitchens. Or maybe they're like my ex, and he used to bring a car full of kids to youth group every week. On the surface, they seem so kind, so sweet, but it is all manipulation for supply. A narcissist doesn't have anything inside. They're empty. They need supply. They need other people to pay attention to them. Now, the thing about supply as well, they'll take positive or negative supply. They need attention, and they prefer good attention, but any attention is okay, and they'll do whatever they have to do. A narcissist is like a vampire, but instead of feeding off of blood, they feed off your soul. Inside, there's nothing there. There's no feelings, no personality. They have no empathy. They're literally 100% selfish. So think about that. Can you imagine? I mean, everybody gets selfish, is selfish to a degree or has selfish feelings. But imagine if you were not able to feel anything for anybody else ever. I mean, your own child, you don't care. That's a narcissist. All of them are living double lives. And eventually, if you are involved with one, you will get sucked into their vortex of pain. There's a lot of theories related to how somebody actually becomes a narcissist, but really, it doesn't matter. Who cares? What matters for us is understanding who a narcissist is and doing something about it. It's about saving yourself and your kids. We only have one life. To waste it on a narcissist is so, oh my gosh, I'm asking you, please don't do it. A narcissist is a parasite. They use other people to fill the void inside themselves. So they have a constant and insatiable need for attention and admiration. But instead of being a genuinely good person, instead of striving to be somebody that people really could admire, they pretend to be that way. But what's really going on will ultimately destroy anybody close to the narcissist, especially their families. The ones closest to a narcissist are going to suffer the most, sometimes permanently. This is why I'm telling you, you're in a state of emergency. This is a crisis. In some ways, a narcissist is like somebody living on credit, but worse. So here's somebody who's buying a bunch of stuff. They're pretending they can afford things that they really can't. But in the back of their mind, that credit card bill is going to come in one day, and then what are they going to do? But with a narcissist, they live on credit. They're living a life that they can't afford, that isn't really theirs. But they're not worried about a bill coming in. You are going to pay that. You are going to suffer the consequences. It's like they commit some heinous crime, and guess who goes to jail for it? You do. Covert narcissists are the proverbial wolves in sheep's clothing. All of them live double lives, and eventually, if you stay long enough, those two worlds are going to collide. My hope with this video is that I can get to you before that happens. So many of us, and I know this because I lived this, we're involved with a narcissist and you live your life in fear. You don't want to believe that this is happening. Covert narcissists wear a mask. They wear very many different masks. There's a mask for everybody in their life. I mean, think about how sick that is. So people at work see one mask. Extended family see a different one. Friends see yet another. And of course, you also have a special mask. But if you are involved with a narcissist in a romantic way, you are being set up for the ultimate downfall. For their entire lives, a covert narcissist is pretending to be somebody else. So they've always lived this double life. They understand they have to pretend to be somebody they aren't, to have the things in life that they want, to fit into society. It's kind of weird. It's really messed up. They believe that they're better than everybody else, but at the same time, they recognize in order to have any satisfaction in life, in order to be admired, they have to pretend to be somebody else. What they really want at their core, they want one special person. Well, actually, I'm going to say one special person, but we all know that narcissists are known to have multiple sources of supply. But I'm just going to start off with saying they need somebody that they can constantly count on, that they can depend on, that they can have a constant source of supply. Now, they'll get other sources of supply as well. I mean, they don't want to run out. Think about somebody who's investing their money. They're not going to invest it all in one area. They spread it around a little bit. That's how a narcissist is. They want multiple sources of supply so that if one dries up, if one isn't working out, well, that's all right. They'll just go to another one. But they want that main supply. So this is where you come in. They want somebody that they can always depend on, somebody that can give them supply no matter what circumstance is going on. And once they get you, they'll put on their mask, they'll put on their special mask with you. Then once they have you, once they know that you're theirs, they will drop that mask and you will see who they really are. And what happens to all of us is that we don't believe it. First impressions really do matter. So you meet this narcissist and you think they're a certain way. And when they're not, you keep thinking, well, they'll get back there. If only they can get back there. Maybe if I treated them better, they could get back there. You are constantly hoping that the narcissist becomes the person you know they can be because you saw them that way. But I'm here to tell you in this video, a covert narcissist was never the person they were pretending to be. The person who is the cruelest, at their most vile, that's the real person. So you need to ask yourself, why am I fighting for this? If you could believe that, and it's true, if you could believe who the narcissist really is, they're a vile creature, a loathsome entity that is going to destroy you and your children. Think about that. So many of us don't want to give up on these entanglements for a few reasons. One, we believe that, no, they're actually really a good person, or maybe they can change. Think about change. Let me ask you this. Two things. This is how I think about change. I used to want this too. I wanted my ex to change. That was my big plan for him. He was going to change. Then we could have this wonderful relationship. We could have this great marriage. The kids could be happy. However, when I really think about it now, on the other side, so many of us, when we get out, we end up like the PhDs in introspection. We're looking back and we're thinking, oh, geez, you're seeing things that you didn't see during it. And that's what my whole channel is about, is helping people see things as early as possible. I put in almost 20 years. Joe put in almost 20 years. We don't want that for anybody else. The reality is that once you see it, you can start making changes. So if you're hoping that the narcissist is going to change, ask yourself, somebody that has been that vile, that cruel to me, why would I want them in my life? Why would I want them, even if they did change? What they've already done is so horrendous. Narcissists, covert narcissists, they change us. We go into the entanglement one way, and at the end, we are a shell of the person that we used to be. We don't resemble ourselves at all. When I think, it actually is painful when I think how I was at the beginning, how I was at the end. But I want to tell you, it does get better. When you're in the entanglement, it seems like the worst possible thing. Because in a lot of ways, Joe's read a lot about this, you become like addicted to the person. So it's almost like picture like a heroin addict, right? You need that high. So you get addicted. So this is why one of the best things to do is to cut off contact. Go no contact, because it will force you into withdrawal. And then you can get over this. Now it's painful. I'm not saying it's not painful, but if you stay with a narcissist, if you keep talking to them, if you keep seeing them, it never ends, because you're constantly, it's like picture yourself literally as a heroin addict. You're constantly getting your drug. Even if you hate the person, even if you think, well, I don't even like this person, but heroin addicts, after a while, they don't like the drug, they need it. So you need to break free. And it's not easy. I get that. But the first step is seeing who this person really, truly is. And then asking yourself, why am I here? And then looking at your situation. In reality, this is a state of emergency. They will kill you, at least emotionally. A narcissist will take everything from you. And I want to tell you, when you're with a covert narcissist, if you're with a covert narcissist right now, I can guarantee you that they're lying to you about multiple things. They might have a boyfriend, a girlfriend. They might be putting you into debt you don't even know. They could be gambling. They could be drinking. You don't know what they're doing. They live secret lives. And remember when I was talking about my friend knitting and it was so easy for her? It's easy for the narcissist to lie. So it's, like me, I'm not a good liar. So, Joe always tells me that he can read the emotions on my face instantly. I can't even tell you how many times he'll say to me, "What's wrong?" And I'm thinking to myself, nothing, or something is bothering me that isn't that big of a deal, and I don't want to talk about it. And he's like, "I can see it on your face." That's how regular people are. A narcissist isn't a regular person. They can lie easily, believably, and readily. Their whole life is a lie. So you're involved with somebody like this, you don't know what's going on in your own life. You can't live a happy life when you don't even know what's going on. And at any time, something's going to explode in your life. You don't know. There's like bombs that are about to go off, and you don't know. You have to just brace for impact at all times. That's how it was at the end of my entanglement. I would never know what was going to happen day to day, what was going to happen today, what secret was going to be revealed today. It's a horrible way to live. And for a long time, I believed that I couldn't get out. I can't get out. I'm stuck. Don't fall into that trap. I thought for years, I thought, well, I gave up my career. I don't have any money. Like I'm just stuck. There's literally nothing I can do. I would hear about other people who got out and I would be jealous, not like in a negative way. I would be happy for them, but I didn't believe I could ever do that. Well, I guess I'm stuck. My hope is that he would die. That's not a plan for life. That's not living a life. In order to be free, you need to see who the narcissist is. A covert narcissist is lying to you right now. You don't know them. They're hurting you. They're changing you. They're going to change you, if they haven't already, into somebody that you don't want to be. Somebody that's afraid. I was so afraid of my own shadow. I really was. I've mentioned before on my channel, my ex gave me a silent treatment for 7 months one time, and I put up with it. What was wrong with me? That's what happens. These narcissists twist us and change us so we don't have any self-confidence. We end up being like an animal in a cage. We're trapped. The narcissist keeps us trapped where they want us, and then we are stuck. We feel like we're stuck. But the reality, and this is what I want to tell you in the video, you're not stuck. You can get out. Do you want to be with somebody who is lying to you, who's keeping secrets from you, who can't love you, who can't love your children? There's nothing good about staying with a narcissist. There literally is nothing. The only chance you have is getting out. And I know how scary that is. And I know there are people that don't think they can do it. I want to say something about that. I didn't believe that I could get out. Like I said, I didn't believe this. But I want to tell you, the way I got out was when I started believing in myself, when I started seeing who he was. What you put out into the world comes back to you. I believe that. If you are around and you think, I can't get out, I'm stuck, I'm going to be here forever, that will be your destiny. It's so important to think positive, because if you can think it, you can do it. This happened to me. Remember, I didn't have anything. My ex had me so much debt. I didn't have any money. I didn't have a job. I didn't know what I was going to do. I wanted to kick my ex out of the house for a long time. I didn't think I could do it because I was like, well, he owns the house with me. If he doesn't go, what am I going to do? He wasn't physically assaulting me, so I couldn't get a restraining order. I didn't have a job, and even if I had a job, how would I afford? How would I be able? I hadn't worked for like so long. I had lost all that time in my career. How would I be able to make enough money to support my children? I felt stuck. I was like, there's nothing I can do. However, when it got so bad so learn from me, it got so bad. He tried to get me arrested. I couldn't be with this person. I kicked him out. He stayed out. He didn't come back. He threatened it every once in a while, but he didn't come back. So, and I figured out a way to move forward. I had money. Now, I didn't have a lot of money, but I got a job. I slowly moved forward, and I'm free. Today, I'm free. When my ex and I split up, remember, I had no money. My ex had put me, us, $100,000 in debt. I didn't charge one penny, but because we're married, that's our debt. Talk about that in another video. But I was in debt, had no money, no job, no family, no friends. That's where I was. I thought I was going to die. My heart was skipping beats. I was under so much stress. And also I had Child Protective Services investigation against me because my ex had lied to them. Had said that I had tried to get him, that I had beaten him up. All these things were happening. I started moving forward. Then, at the worst time of my life, now granted, I kind of had no choice. I was backed into a corner, but I did it. And if I can do it, so can you. All the things I feared didn't come true. And eventually, like I said at the beginning of the video, I escaped. I escaped. I'm free. And I'm going to tell you, freedom is the most beautiful thing in the world. I understand, I'm a homeschool mom, and when I've taught them the American Revolution, I couldn't understand freedom until I really tasted it. When I can understand, the New Hampshire state motto, live free or die. There really is something to that. You don't need to be a hostage. You don't need to be in jail with a narcissist. Narcissists are the worst of humanity. They truly are a plague in our life, on our existence. You don't need to stay. You're not stuck. Maybe you can't leave today, but I implore you, please start making positive steps. Please start seeing things in a different way. It starts with seeing who the narcissist really is and believing you don't deserve it. Put positive vibes out into the world. It really does come back to you. I was able to change my entire life that way. So I know that this works. When I do videos, everything that I say are things that either I have done or I will do or would do. I don't say anything that I wouldn't do. This is a real channel. This is really my life. These are the things I tell you are things that are and have really happened. So I want everybody to understand who the covert narcissist really is and that you are not stuck. Just start believing it. Start believing that today. All right, I'm not stuck. What can I do? Start making friends. Maybe get a job. Do something every day and you will get out. You will. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm so grateful to everybody who watches my channel. You guys, I have tried to make this channel to help other people, and I've gotten so much more out of the channel than I have put in. I'm so grateful to everybody. I hope you have a wonderful day. For those of you that might not know, I do coaching. So if anybody is interested, I have a lot of people I'm coaching, and I want to help more. I want to help anybody that I can. I don't want anybody to be stuck with a narcissist. So if you're looking for somebody to talk to, go ahead and email me at coachingwithsavinghearts@gmail.com, and we can set up an appointment. Other than that, I will see you on Friday. I hope you have a wonderful day, and God bless.